21 Sports brings you Great Plains Athletic Conference college football.
Today features the Spires of the University of St. Mary's in Kansas and the Nebraska Wesleyan University Prairie Wolves.
This game is made possible by Lincoln Electric System. Use LES to save more. Union Bank, you belong here. And Nebraska Wesleyan University, the difference is experience, your experience.
It's a beautiful day here in the Heartland and time for college football to kick off as Nebraska Wesleyan will battle with the University of St. Mary's in a rare non-conference game to start the season. The last time a non-conference opponent was in here to Able Stadium way back in 2002. Good afternoon, Lucas Mormon along with Tom Gemmelke. Warm day, 86 degrees, 13 mile an hour per wind out of the north here at Able Stadium. So a sunny, uncharacteristically warm 86 at kickoff here as we get ready to kick off the 2012 Prairie Wolf season. Great to have you along, Tom.
Lucas, appreciate it. Looking forward to some football here. Been waiting for it for a while. I think we're all ready for football here.
That's right, and the toss went the way of the Spires of St. Mary's. They will receive. They won the toss, elected to receive. They'll have the football first. So the Wesleyan defense, which was a stalwart last year, kind of the backbone of this Wesleyan team, will get to take the field first. The Spires and the Prairie Wolves, this is their second meeting, the first coming last year, a 58-34 win for the Prairie Wolves down in Leavenworth, Kansas, the home of the University of St. Mary and the Spires.
Yeah, in that game, a real shootout. A lot of key offensive players back for both teams, so it could be another shootout here this afternoon.
Wesleyan gets ready to kick things off. The kicker handling the kicking duties was somewhat of a question coming into the season. It looks like it's going to be Aaron Lorraine, a 5'11", 180-pound junior, a transfer from Dana College, will be handling the kickoffs. It was a toss-up and fall camp here, but he has won the nod here in the opening game of the season. Back deep for the Spires, ready to take this one off. Two safeties. New rule kicking off from the 35. They'll take it at the 1. Across the far sideline, still on his feet, trying to make something out of nothing. Bowls his way forward out to the 23-yard line, and that's where the Spires will take over 1st and 10. Spires, a high-powered offense, ranked second in the NAIA last season in passing yards per game, as they put up 336 yards of passing yards per game. That's not total offense, passing yards per game for the Spires, and their quarterback, the 6'2 senior Mike Keys, threw for over 3,600 yards last season. They'll run out of the shotgun this time. Keys with a couple receivers each way and a back beside him in Mata. Throw it out, quick pass, incomplete. Intended target over on the right side was Gomes-Colo, Alex Gomes-Colo, one of his favorite targets. As there you look at Keys, the rocket of an arm, and really put up the numbers last season.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of that quick, short passing game. That's what we see a lot of. Expect to see a lot of that from St. Mary here today, and some example here today.
Cody Eiler and DBs back there and crew taking some to the house last year. They did it a lot. They had 2 return for a touchdown last season against St. Mary. This time they'll swing it out to the wide receiver on the near sideline. He tries to pick up yards, tracked down from behind, making the tackle for the Prairie Wolves that time. Coming up and wrapping him up was Seth Wardeen. That's what this Spires offense is built around. Not a power rushing attack by any means. They'll go short each time. There is some laundry on the field. As we take a look at the offensive line, Osborne, Fritz, Goodka, Santillan, and Diaz, as we take a listen to exactly what the infraction was.
Number 66, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Remains, 2nd down.
Block in the back. There's Keys, Mata the halfback, Ryan the running back, but they'll use those guys out in formations a lot as well as a passer. Looked like Logan Fritz was the guilty party that time for the Spires, so that backs them up. It'll be 2nd and 10. I'll call it 2nd and 14 for the Spires here. 14-29, first quarter. First possession of the 2012 season. Last year, 7-4 these Spires were. School record for wins in a season. They've only been playing for 14 years down in Leavenworth. Little screenplay this time. Drop it out. It's Evan Hearn. And Hearn knocked out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. Coming over to help in on that play, Brandon Reeves from his linebacker spot to force him out of bounds. Hearn, a 6 foot, 215-pound junior out of Plainview, Texas, a transfer from Baylor University.
Good pursuit that time by the Wesleyan defense. That screen pass looked like it had some daylight, but good pursuit and a marginal gain that time for the Spires.
3rd and short, call it 1. There's that defensive line anchored by Russell Walton, the 6 foot, 260-pound senior out of Franklin. Feck, Kotzer, and Reeves, the linebackers. And here's the handoff. Trying to get that first down, slips a tackle, and he'll have first down yardage across the 35 near the 36. That'll move the sticks again for Hearn.
Yeah, that time just good patience that time by the St. Mary running back Evan Hearn. Did a good job waiting for his blockers, found some daylight there on that right side and got the first down.
Don't see a whole lot of rushing plays out of this St. Mary's attack, but that time, they 3rd and short situation, they went with Hearn, his second touch there early on, and picked up the first down. Talk about Russell Walton anchoring that line, a preseason NAIA All-American. 1st and 10 from the 36 for the Spires. Fake the handoff, short pass again, far sideline. That one's complete. Out to Ronnie Cooper. Short pickup on the play. Nothing more than a long handoff there.
Yeah, Lucas, I really like that short passing on first down. You set up with 2nd and manageable. I think it's a good high percentage play. I like when offenses do that short passing play. I think it really opens up the playbook on 2nd down.
Cody Eiler, team captain for Nebraska Wesleyan, is 46 tackles last year from his corner spot. He'll move and play a little strong safety if they go with a 3-man front, which they may today to slow down that short passing attack. He'll move over, do a little strong safety work, and a dangerous return man. Cody Eiler, we'll see how many opportunities he gets this afternoon. 2nd and called along 6. Keys out of the gun, back behind him. Wesleyan might have been across the line early. Free play here for Keys. He knows it, lobs it up, and it's too far down the intended sideline, down that near sideline. His target was Young, but I believe Wesleyan was in the zone a little early.
Yeah, it looks like we had definitely someone jump across the neutral zone a little bit early. Didn't quite catch a number there for Wesleyan, but definitely got a little bit ahead. I think it was Taylor Tukolsa they got jumping across the neutral zone.
Take a listen in, see exactly who it was on.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains, 2nd down.
I'm not sure they caught the number either there,
Yeah.
so but I think it was Tukolsky just a tad early. And give credit to Keys, knew he had a free play, took a shot down the sideline, just too far over his intended target. Two and a half minutes gone by, first quarter, shotgun again. Keys this time does hand it off to his back. That's Will Ryan. Ryan will be near the first down sticks. They're going to probably take a look at this one when it's spotted. They may have to measure, although it looks like they're going to go ahead and move the sticks. Walton in on the tackle again.
Tackled by Russell Walton.
And it looks like they are a little bit. Well, no, they did that. Waited for the scoreboard there, but yeah, there was a first down. Good pursuit that time by the Wesleyan defense. Looked like they had him bottled up. Only needed a yard, though, and that's exactly what he got.
Walton had 11 tackles for a loss last season. That time, say just after 1 yard, the senior from Franklin. 4 receivers in the formation this time. Still 4 down linemen for the Prairie Wolves. Keys awaits the snap, drops, throws over the top, complete to his man on the right side. Hauling in that one is going to be Alex Gomes-Colo. He had 19 catches last year, 4 for touchdowns. Moves the, we'll say right at it. That moves, looks like should move the sticks again.
Yeah, and Gomes-Colo finding plenty of room right there. Wide open, easy pitch and catch that time in the first down for St. Mary.
Now looking at it, they're going to mark him about a football shy of the first down sticks. So short yardage again here on 2nd down. The Spires taking this opening kickoff under the direction of senior quarterback Mike Keys, marching down into Wesleyan territory here at the 44-yard line. Short pass again, a little slant play this time. Good hands by the receiver. out there, Jarrell Young, the junior out of Portland, Oregon, able to hang on to that quick slant.
Yeah, good catch. He was juggling. We'll watch the replay here. He was juggling that pass. Pass right on the money. He juggled it a little bit. Almost lost it, but good job of hanging on, and that will move the sticks to the first down.
And there in the tackle that time for Wesleyan. Looked like it was Wardine in there again. Coming over to help. First and 10 from the 42-yard line now. Near sideline, 4-down lineman for Nebraska Wesleyan. Slant the other way, complete. Getting 5-6 yards on the pickup. That went out to Ronnie Cooper, the junior from Plano, Texas.
Yeah, Lucas, I think that's going to be a matchup to watch today. Ronnie Cooper going up against Cody Eiler. Cody Eiler is a great player, but Eiler only 5'10", Cooper 6'3". That could be a big matchup here this afternoon.
Cooper didn't have a lot of action last year from Tyler J.C., junior college player. They have a lot of junior college or transfers on the Spire squad. See how, they say the top 4 receivers from last year are gone off this team. This time a little sweep action off the motion. In there on the tackle for Nebraska Wesleyan, Brandon Reeves wraps him up behind the line of scrimmage from his linebacker spot. He shot through there. Reeves, a 5'11 junior out of Hastings, Nebraska, went to Hastings High School. The tackle there, last year 9 tackles for Reeves. Moving up to one of the starting roles of that linebacker spot this season.
Yeah, Reeves just did a good job there filling that gap. That hole closed in a hurry. And a minimal gain that time for St. Mary.
3rd and 5. Big play here for the Prairie Wolf D. They haven't got much pressure on Keys, and part of that's the product of this quick passing attack. Drops again, looks over the middle this time. It's complete, still on his feet. Dodged the tackle inside the 10-yard line. Hauling that one in, Alex Gomes-Colo again. Colo got loose over the middle, hauled it in, made one-man miss inside the 10, and the Spires knocking on the door.
Yeah, and again, Gomes-Colo wide open in that NWU secondary. Colo not a very big, Gomes-Colo not a big guy, just 5'10", but showing some good hands here on this opening drive.
Hittner came up from his safety spot to try and knock it free, just about 2 steps behind that time. Nebraska Wesleyan, they said they'd go with some press coverage against the short attack. We'll see if they have to make some adjustments and really bring up and press. Here they'll hand off. This time the run. Hearn picks his way a yard maybe on the play. Good job by that defensive front of the Prairie Wolves. In there on the tackle, Phil Latimer. Also in there, Walton, kind of tackle by committee.
Yeah, this could be a part of the field where St. Mary might struggle. You know, a pass-oriented team generally get inside the 10. It's a lot harder to pass once you get closer to that end zone. We'll see if they're able to pass. That time they tried running the ball, which is usually high percentage of this area of the field, but not much doing that time in the ground game.
Now I think the Spires look like they're going to have to burn a timeout as they're walking over to the sideline. Keys wants to talk things over. First quarter, no score so far. 7:48 left in this one, but the Spires knocking on the door here on 21 Sports.
President of Nebraska Wesleyan University. This year we mark an important milestone, Nebraska Wesleyan's 125th anniversary. Join us on campus this fall for our anniversary kickoff celebration and homecoming activities. In addition, our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends will collectively take on a challenge to give 12,500 hours of volunteer time to community service. Check our website for event schedules, stories, and photos of today and yesteryear. All of us who share a sense of pride and ownership in Nebraska Wesleyan University have a wonderful opportunity this year to reconnect with friends, students, professors, and staff, and to celebrate all that we have accomplished together. I look forward to seeing you soon.
No score first quarter from Abel Field, but the Spires of St. Mary knocking on the door. 2nd and goal from the 9. We'll talk more with Nebraska Wesleyan President Dr. Fred Oles at halftime. the upcoming season. So after the timeout by the Spires, Keys out there after talking with head coach Lance Hinson in his 8th season. He was the co-coach of the year last year in the KCAC, the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference. Trips to the wide side of the field for the Spires here. 2-step, 3-step drop, throw to the back shoulder, touchdown, Spires. Hauling that one in was Jarrell Young, the 5'11", 200-pound junior out of Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, Lucas, that back shoulder fade that they threw right here, this is something you see a lot of in the professional ranks. You see it more everywhere. It's just a high percentage pass, really tough to defend. Not much Wesleyan could do on that one.
Young with a couple grabs that drive. That one from 9 yards out for the first score of the game, the touchdown for the Spires. Trevor Spalding, the junior from San Antonio, Texas, to attempt the PAT. Hold is good, kick is good. 7-0 Spires, 7:43 first quarter on the 9-yard hookup from Keys to Young. Back shoulder fade. Spires on the board first. Eiler can do some damage after this.
When I walk in, how much it feels like home, even though we've only been here a month.
Having a baby is a definite lifestyle change. Grayson's the boss around here.
We moved in 2 days before he was born. Union Bank really helped us. They were so personable. They really got to know our story and care that we needed to get into the house before the baby was born.
We're starting a family and developing our lives together in a place that we can call home.
The Spires strike first on the board with the 9-yard touchdown pass from Mike Keys to Young. Now Trevor Spalding will boot it off to the dynamic duo of return men. Cody Eiler, a dangerous return man back there. Also back with him, Brooks Earhart. We'll see if they've watched tape and if they decide to kick it to Eiler. The new rule, they kick from the 35, touchbacks to the 25 on kickoffs. A great weapon, as you mentioned, Tom, against this, but Eiler will get a shot from the 12, near sideline. Picks his way around, 20, eludes one tackler, and they've brought down at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Prairie Wolves under the direction of Nate Hopman, back for his senior season after being knocked out last year with a broken collarbone midway through the season.
And I'm sure Wesleyan very glad to have their starting quarterback back. Losing him after the 4th game last year, that's a tough blow for any team to overcome. They have him back this year. The senior has some experience, started as a sophomore here also. I'm sure they're glad to have him under center here to start the season.
He'll work out of the gun. They'll use a myriad of formations here. They'll use a lot of slot backs today, wide receivers, maybe one running back, not a lot of traditional I formation or single back set. They throw, intended target incomplete off the hands that time. For Wesleyan, unable to haul it in was Taylor Stockamp.
And that's what Hopman would love to have back. That was an easy pass. He was wide open, Stockamp wide open. Hopman just a little bit off the mark with that pass.
Look at Hopman there. Say last year passed for 748 yards in basically 3.5 games. He had 2 touchdowns against the Spires down in Leavenworth in the 58-34 win. Jordan Delbaugh's back this year as well, but his foot's a little banged up as well, so Corey Jones in one of the slots. Now they run a little rocket toss off to the side, trying to attack the edge, barreling forward, trying to keep his footing. Pick up almost 5 on the play that time was Brooks Earhart. Earhart, the sophomore from Springfield, Nebraska. And we're going to see a lot of that today, that base formation, the flex bone they're calling it, with the 2 slot formation seat receivers lined up where the tight ends would be.
They do. They run a lot of plays out of that formation, Lucas, and that time Earhart lost his footing a little bit. I don't know if he had a lot of room, but lost his footing, and the defense quick to swarm on him on that one.
3rd and a long 6 here, 7:15 left. Shotgun formation for Hopman. There goes Earhart again in the motion. They'll lob it complete at the 46-yard line, hauling that one in. Looks like it's going to be Pieper, but there is some laundry down, and I'm not sure if Earhart Looks like the initial signal's an illegal shift. I would say I'm not sure Earhart ever came set or if maybe he wasn't moving forward a little bit before the snap of the football. Let's listen in.
Motion on the offense, number 37. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains third down.
Costly penalty there on third down. Would have moved the sticks with the completion out to near the 47-yard line. Instead, now you're 3rd and 11 on your opening drive of the season.
Yeah, that one, those penalties can come back to bite you. They're already trailing 7-0. You don't want to see that here on your opening offensive drive if you're Wesleyan.
Spires showing just a 3-man front this time. Hopman out of the gun. Good time, throws over the top, just over the outstretched arm as his intended target. That was Stockcamp again, the senior from Scribner. He was open, but Hopman overshot him just a little bit.
Stockcamp was open, and that time the Spires going with a single high safety look and kind of daring Wesleyan to throw, and had an open man, would have been more than enough for the first down, but again, Hopman just a little bit off the mark with a pass.
Out to punt, Kelby Vandenberg, the junior from David City Aquinas High School. One of the best in the GPAC, second in the GPAC last season, 38.7 on the average. A nice high kick driving the return man all the way back inside the 20. Calling for the fair catch, David Hartley inside the 20. 29 times last year, starts the season off with a punt inside the 20 again, Kelby Vandenberg.
Lucas, I think this is an important drive for Wesleyan. I know it's just there's 6 minutes to change left in the first quarter, but you already gave up a touchdown on that first drive. We'll see what kind of adjustment they can make, because that time, I thought that first drive, St. Mary almost surgical the way they marched down the field. So I'll have to see how Wesleyan can respond here.
It's going to be tough to get pressure on Keys. The quick drops, even their 5 steps are quick drops. He's out of the gun a lot, short passing game. They stick with that 4-man front here. Let's see if they can get some pressure this defensive series. Keys with a couple receivers each way. Has time, good protection, throws, complete near sideline. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Terrell Young, another catch on the day.
And that time Wesleyan, Russell Walton creeped toward the line, looked like he might be coming on a blitz. They decide not to bring pressure on that one. As you mentioned, we'll have to see if Wesleyan maybe decides to try to bring some blitz pressure to disrupt this rhythm.
The defensive secondary tested here in those short passes. It's 5-4 yards at a time. This time a little delay handoff up the middle. Nebraska has that one diagnosed very well. Be close to first down yardage. It's like Kotzer came up from his linebacker position. Also in there was Latimer on the D-line. They'll say he's just shy. 3rd and very short that time, as Will Ryan was not able to get the first down.
Yeah, that's a key time for the Wesleyan defense to come up big. They've been on their heels most of this first quarter so far, so a big stand here. We'll see if they can come up with a big stop.
And there, take the snap this time is Mata, a little wildcat formation. Wildcat with Mata in second effort gets the first down right at the 30-yard line. Looked like they initially had him wrapped up in the backfield, but able to fight forward out of that wildcat with Marcus Mata, the redshirt freshman, taking the direct snap.
Yeah, Lucas, we are right next to the Wesleyan coach's booth, and none too happy about that play. We probably can't repeat some of what was said there, but not too happy with that. They had him bottled up, about ready to get off the field, but instead they gave up the first down.
Latimer into the tackle that last time. Now Keys back at center, so just a little wrinkle there with Mata the last play on that short yardage situation. That's kind of their big set, as there's a flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. Number 69, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Evan Osborne that time, the guilty party, the senior from Conroe, Texas, over on the left side of that guard, the left tackle.
Yeah, one of the few things that's gone wrong so far for St. Mary. Pretty much a perfect game so far here this first quarter.
St. Mary riding some momentum from last season. As I said, 7 wins, a school record. Their coach was co-coach of the year in the KCAC, and Keys here sets up a screen pass, and there's nobody home. They had a nice wall set up, but just no back to throw it to.
Yeah, they would love to have that one back because they did have a wall, and then the best remedy against the blitz is a screen pass. If they complete that, they might still be running after that one.
Complete.
I think Wesleyan had the right idea there. Time to start bringing some pressure. Got to do something to disrupt this rhythm because right now St. Mary pretty much doing whatever they want to on offense.
Keys did have a dynamite game last year against Nebraska Wesleyan, minus some interceptions, but he put up a lot of yards, over 400 yards of total offense. Couple receivers each this way this time. Swings it out in the flat instead. Stiff arm for Hearn. Hearn still on his feet and finally dropped after a loss. Then on the play, Latimer again. Latimer very active early here for the Prairie Wolves.
Yeah, and Wesleyan, they do bottle him up. But tackling a little sloppy here. They had a shot to get him down right away. They still got him down for a minimal game, actually a little bit of a loss. But you can almost expect that this first game, they have tackling drills in practice, but maybe looking a little bit rusty there trying to wrap him up.
It's never the same tackling your teammate across the way as you get live game speed and a different color jersey, and it's just a whole different atmosphere, that's for sure. But Latimer, early on, very active along that defensive front, the senior from Broomfield, Colorado. 3rd and long. Great opportunity here for the Prairie Wolf defense to hold and get the ball back. And there's motion again, or some sort of flag.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
Just a couple seconds too long there. I thought maybe he squeezed it in. Play clock had expired, so they continue to march backwards. 3rd and 22 now, under 3 minutes first quarter. Spires leading 7-0. This is their second offensive possession of the game. Trips to the wide side of the field. Just 3 down linemen. They don't bring a lot of pressure this time. Airing it out down the far side. A little too tall. Good coverage over there. Hittner was the safety help over the top. Also, Eric Richards playing that corner spot as they did bring that 3-man pressure that time.
I like that decision by Lance Hinson for the Spires. Might as well throw one deep, and if it gets picked off, it's just about as good as a punt. Obviously, you have a chance at a pass interference or even them catching the ball. So a good play, unable to haul it in, but I think good play call that time for the Spires.
Looks like Evan Hearn is going to handle the punting duty, which is a slight surprise. His little rugby-style kick. Hearn, he'll hit and bounce at the 47, taken by Eiler at the 45, near sideline. Finds his way through, still on his feet, tries to hurdle one more man to beat, and he might have been to the end zone. Finally knocking him out of bounds was Marcus Mata, but a patient run that time by Cody Eiler, but a great return for the Wesleyan Prairie Wolves.
Yeah, when you see a low line drive kick like that going to someone like Cody Eiler, coaches on the other side are saying, oh, darn, or something probably more colorful than that, because usually those result in big gains, just like that one.
Well, it looked right about here that maybe some of the guys thought he might have stepped out of bounds, but give credit to Eiler. He kept going, picked up another 12, 15 yards there. Great starting field position. 1st and 10 from the 20 of the Spires. Now under center. Hopman, 2 receivers left, a couple backs behind him. He'll turn, hand off, straight ahead, and churning his way inside the 15, down near the 11-yard line that time for the Prairie Wolves is Nate Jones. And Jones, a sophomore from UTAN, he's drew some praise from Coach Keller early in this fall camp.
He looked good on that run. Just a powerful run right up the middle. Showed some good power. Not a very big guy, kind of like his counterpart Jordan Delbaugh, but he showed some great power running straight up the middle. Nice gain there on 1st down, 7 yards.
2nd and short. Great spot to be in here. All your playbook available. Now they go with the traditional I formation. Tight end in motion across. 4 down linemen. St. Mary's shows a little blitz. They back out of it. Again, it's Jones. Jones trying to get to the edge, and nothing doing that time. Standing the ground, turning him in for the St. Mary defense was Chris Bosch, and he's one of their all-conference performers. 111 tackles last year, 77 of them solo. And he's the anchor of that Spire defense.
Yeah, definitely a force for that defense. Like you said, preseason first-team All-American this year in NAIA also among the other accolades. So definitely a player that Wesleyan's going to have to contend with here this afternoon.
Couple receivers here on the far side. Two backs for Hopman to work with. He'll turn. He'll hand off to Jones again. Jones inside the 10. He'll have first down yardage down near the 8-yard line. Nate Jones with another workmanlike run, just powering his way forward through the traffic.
Yeah, as we watch the replay here, he actually got a good block that time by fullback Nick Lovell. That really helped spring him for that run, help get that first down.
Talk about some of the blocking going on. You look at that offensive line. Ryan Beebe, the junior from Gresham, Nebraska, 21st consecutive start today, but today it's at guard. First time since 4th grade he hasn't started at center.
That's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So they moved him to guard this year. 21 consecutive starts here for the Prairie Wolves. I'm sure he'll do just fine. Toss play this time. Nate Jones trying to get to the edge. It's a foot race and drugged down from behind and out of bounds. Short of the goal line. They'll mark him out at the, let's call it the 2.5.
Yeah, they tried that toss play to the left side. Just ran out of blocking. Nick Lovell looked like he was about ready to set up another good block, but had to let his guy go eventually. You don't want to get caught on a holding call. And just a short gain that time for the Prairie Wolves.
Foot race for Jones and coming over, driving him out of bounds that time. It was Runnels. So, Nebraska Wesleyan knocking on the door here from Able Stadium when we come back.
Fred Olds, president of Nebraska Wesleyan University. This year we mark an important milestone, Nebraska Wesleyan's 125th anniversary. Join us on campus this fall for our anniversary kickoff celebration and homecoming activities. In addition, our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends will collectively take on a challenge to give 12,500 hours of volunteer time to community service. Check our website for event schedules, stories, and photos of today and yesteryear. All of us who share a sense of pride and ownership in Nebraska Wesleyan University have a wonderful opportunity this year to reconnect with friends, students, professors, and staff, and to celebrate all that we have accomplished together. I look forward to seeing you soon.
One quarter in the books. The St. Mary Spires lead 7-0, but Nebraska Wesleyan knocking on the door. 2nd and goal to start the second quarter from the 2. It's a beautiful day here at Able Stadium. A little warm, a little toasty.
Not exactly football weather, but we'll take football
We'll
in any
take
kind of
it.
weather.
It's sunny and it's a nice little breeze, about 12 to 15 out of the north. Hopman back at the controls of this Wesleyan offense after last year and that injury that slowed him for the second half of the season. I'll go with a big formation here, traditional I backfield. 2 yards to go. Hopman going to keep it himself. Turns up. He'll be stopped just shy. Opie Tuieva, defensive lineman, second team all KCAC last year, 6 foot, 265 pounds, made the tackle.
Yeah, he converged in a hurry because it looked like there was room in the middle there for Hopman on that quarterback keeper, but he did a good job of filling that gap in a hurry and stopping him short of the goal line.
3rd and goal from a yard out. Hopman over Caleb Armstrong, the center. He'll take it himself, and this time he's in for the touchdown. Hopman put 6 on the board, and a few words afterwards exchanged. But Hopman gets Wesley on the board from 1 yard out here, 14-16, second quarter.
Yeah, he did a good job of fighting for yards there. They did a good job. I thought they were going to stop him short of the goal line, but good power running that time by your quarterback and fighting his way across the end zone.
Jay Brooks is going to handle the place kicking. He's a senior from Raymond. Gets it up, and it is good. Ekes it over. Good job by Kelby Vandenberg on the hold as it was low. But Nebraska Wesleyan ties things up second quarter as Hopman keeps it from 1 yard out. Back with more after this on 21 Sports.
It's just surprising when I walk in how much it feels like home, even though we've only been here a month.
Having a baby is a definite lifestyle change. Grayson's the boss around here.
We moved in 2 days before he was born. Union Bank really helped us. They were so personable. They really got to know our story and care that we needed to get into the house before the baby was born.
We're starting a family and developing our lives together in a place that we can call home.
Knotted up at 7, 14-16 second quarter. Wesleyan on the board with the 1 yard plunge from Hopman. Kicking off going to be Aaron Lorraine, the 5'11 junior out of Omaha, Nebraska. They say all touchbacks on kickoffs this season come out to the 25. That's a rule change. All this done for player safety as Lorraine gets a foot into it, sends it back to the 6 yard line. The return on the far side. Little hesitation, and then he's met by 2 Prairie Wolves. Right at the 20, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spires. Andrew Fedoris in there on the special teams to slow down Harvey Williams on the return for the Spires.
Yeah, Lucas, going back to that touchdown drive by the Prairie Wolves, that is just what they needed. Special teams is a real strength for Nebraska Wesleyan. Last year they blocked 12 kicks. They returned 3 kicks for touchdowns. Special teams as a whole, a big strength for them, and got them good field position. That 35-yard punt return by Eiler, good field position, and set them up for that touchdown.
Coach Larson's taken over the special teams coaching duties this season. Another change we'll talk about when the Wesleyan Prairie Wolves get the ball back. Here's a little swing pass, and Cody Eiler knocks it free. Cody Eiler absolutely decleated Marcus Mata. Hello and welcome to Lincoln and Able Stadium, says Cody Eiler. As Mata is still down. Just a quick swing pass, and Eiler read it perfectly. Textbook hit, drove through the man, brought him down, knocked the ball free.
Yeah, good clean hit there. Led with the shoulder, nothing dirty about that one. Just a good physical hit, and you hope Mata's okay because he took a big shot on that one.
Mata out of League City, Texas, the 5'10", 200-pound freshman. Still down after that big hit from Cody Eiler. And Eiler does a little bit of everything, as we talked about it just earlier, that he'll return the kicks for you, the senior from O'Neill. Turned a couple touchdowns. Then he has, pass breakups last year. He had 6 pass breakups, 46 tackles. Eiler a little bit of everything, as you see Mata there getting tended to by the training staff. We'll take a timeout. Come back with more. All tied up at 7 on 21 Sports.
Our life is what you make of it. In Lincoln, some are making it fun. Some are making it successful. Others are making it vibrant, refreshing, economical, creative, interesting. They're making Lincoln home. So, make it young. Make it a family. Make it a booming career. Make it whatever makes you happy. Make your life right in Lincoln.
Marcus Mata makes his way to the sideline under his own power after the hit from Cody Eiler on that swing pass. Brings up 2nd and 10, 14:06 second quarter. The Spires on the attack here. Good to see Mata up under his own power. Shotgun again for Mike Keys from Olathe, Kansas. Slant, complete, and then brought down. Great hit again. Michael Hittner that time, helping out his buddy Cody Eiler over there, but the slant has worked. That time, hauling it in was Ronnie Cooper.
Yeah, that quick slant play, you have to make sure you're sure tackling your defensive back, because those are the ones that go for big gainers if you don't wrap them up right away. That time, Wesleyan, a couple defenders there, Hittner and Eiler converging on him.
Ronnie Cooper, a big guy to bring down, 6'3", 220 from that wide receiver spot. He split to the far side this time, twins to the near side. 4-man rush for the Prairie Wolves. Delayed handoff. Will Ryan over the left side. Squirts free. First down yardage and more. Dragging men with him all the way out to the 39-yard line. Hanging on and bringing him down was Latimer. But good, tough running by Will Ryan of the Spires.
Yeah, Will Ryan that time just about broke that one for maybe a touchdown. Holding on for dear life that time. Almost a big gainer.
Right up front, ran through a couple arm tackles at the initial point of attack to pick up first down. Looked like Wesleyan might have had him stopped again, but on 3rd and 6, they pick up the first down. Now they'll spread them out. 3 on the near side. Free play coming for the Spires. They lob it down the sideline. Overshot his target, intended for Cooper again. But again, Keys knew he had a free play. Why not try and go deep as Wesleyan looked to be in the neutral zone. A little encroachment again. Kevin Kroom at the helm of this defense, the defensive coordinator for Nebraska Wesleyan. He's on the sideline this year as we listen into the penalty.
Offsides. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
David Jennings, the guilty party for the Prairie Wolves.
Yeah, he was well across the line on that one. And free play once again for St. Mary, unable to take advantage, but they do have a nice, easy, manageable 1st and 5 right now.
Saw Coach Kroom on the sidelines, the defensive coordinator. Coach Keller calls the plays for the offense. This year, he's going to be up in the booth, so he's up top with us this season after spending a couple down the sidelines. Fires over the middle, off the hands of the intended target. Gomez Colo brings up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, one of the few misses that time by Keys. He's been pretty spot on here during this first half and had an open receiver that time, but that ball just a little bit off its intended target.
Hittner was there from his safety spot in coverage. Brings up 2nd and 5. These two combined for a lot of points last year, say 58, 34, 96 points in that one. There's a quick pass, just a little comeback route right at the sticks. First down yardage complete out to Young. And Gunther on the tackle. We'll put it down right at midfield, and that'll be a first down for the Spires.
Good high percentage that time by St. Mary. Didn't need much, didn't get much. Good open field tackle by Gunther, but just needed 5 yards, and that will be enough for the first down.
Squarely at midfield, the Spires getting back into a little rhythm here. That first drive, they methodically marched down on the Prairie Wolves, punched it in for 7. Now Nebraska Wesleyan shows a little blitz. They bring pressure, a little pump fake. They'll set up a screen play to the tight end. There's a flag down. Lots of room to roam down the far sideline. Knocked down, making the tackle was Seth Wardeen, bringing down the big tight end, Scott Wiseman, a 6'3", 240-pound junior. But let's see, Laundry on the field, see exactly what the penalty is.
Yeah, it's on Wesleyan because they're signaling declining it from the St. Mary's sideline.
Take it for any of the
Prairie Wolves.
Goods.
Offside.
Tickets have been
Defense,
drawn.
number 49. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
So Wesleyan having a little trouble with the snap count, jumping a few times. That's the 3rd encroachment penalty. That time the guilty party for the Prairie Wolves. Tukolsky again. You don't see them use their tight end often, but that time they did, and it went for big yards. Handoff, trying to get outside. Ryan still churning, 10 yards and more on the far sideline. Ball came out at the end, but it'll say he was down. Will Ryan with 11 yards on the carry. Ryan had 358 yards rushing, just got to the edge this time.
Yeah, I think one thing right now, if you're Brian Keller, the head coach of Nebraska Wesleyan, one thing that's driving you nuts right now is the tackling. We've seen a few missed tackles here this opening half, and that has to drive a head coach nuts.
And you said it, Tom, they've been in the right spots, but at times just arm tackles that have been run right through by the St. Mary's offense. They'll say he's at the 21. Keys and company. 3-step drop, pump fake, wants to go for it all towards the end zone, too far for Ronnie Cooper. Cooper in coverage out there against Eiler.
Yeah, and he had him. That was man coverage. And one thing we talked about in the open, Wesleyan will probably come with some press coverage to combat the short passing game. Well, one of the things that can combat that if you're an offense is a pump fake or a double move. And that time, Eiler got caught. He was beat, but the pass just overthrown.
You mentioned that matchup earlier. Cooper, 6'3", compared to 5'10" for Eiler. 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. Going to set up that screenplay again. They do to Hearn. Hearn, left side, down the sideline near the sticks. Rode out of bounds by, looked like Latimer was in there. Also, Brandon Reeves on the tackle.
Yeah, that's 2 straight screen passes that we've seen successful from St. Mary. They missed on one in the first quarter, but the last couple have been successful for some good gains.
Give Hearn 9 yards on that one, about a yard shy of the first down sticks. Under 11 minutes now, second quarter, all knotted up, but St. Mary, the Spires here, this drive, nice mix of offense, some runs, some screens, a few slants, getting the job done against the Prairie Wolves. Here's the double move again. They throw the slant complete. Trying to strip the ball away, is going to the ground. On the coverage that time, Brandon Reeves from his linebacker spot. He helped make the tackle. The pass was complete to Young. Good ball by Keys.
Yeah, and then Keys is showing why he's a preseason second-team All-American. He's looked very impressive here this opening half. Spot on with almost all of his passes here so far.
Keys maybe a little shaken up on the way down after that hit. On the sideline, gets tended to. Maybe the wind just knocked out of him a little. Warm day, 86 degrees at kickoff. We'll see how that affects these squads. 2 backs beside Mata in the Wildcat formation again. Out of the gun, Mata, little zone read, wants to keep it. Does, makes one man miss, and then he's going to be brought down. After that, making the tackle, looked like it was Aaron Barney.
Well, give credit that time to Russell Walton. Russell Walton did miss, as you said, he made a man miss. Russell Walton was the guy who missed, but at least forced that play back inside where he had some help, and just a short gain that time for the Spires.
We've seen Mata out of the Wildcat, or taking some snaps from that quarterback spot out of the gun a few times. He stays back there again. Back each way. 2nd and goal from the 5. Follows blocker straight ahead, spins in for the touchdown. Marcus Mata from 5 yards out. Gives St. Mary the lead again with 9:15 and counting.
Yeah, Mata not a big guy, but good, tough running up the middle. Looked like he was going to be stopped short for a short gain as we watch the replay here. A couple guys had a shot at him, but he found some daylight and found the end zone.
Well, they're going to have to put some time back on the clock because it's still running. Still running. Still running. About 25 seconds ran out of this, so before Spalding can attempt the PAT, they're going to discuss just how much time to put back on. It should be right at 9:17, I think, is when the touchdown came. So they're going to get together, talk about this one, figure out how much time to put on.
Well, I think the Spires on that last drive, going back to that drive, I think showed a lot of balance like you talked about. That first drive, pretty much just short passes, but that second drive showing a lot of mixing it up, some runs, some more short passes, some screen passes. I thought they did a good job of keeping the Prairie Wolves off balance.
Let's see exactly how much they put back on here.
.907 on the clock.
So they say 9:07, so about 10 seconds there from what I guessed. And now we can have the PAT from Trevor Spalding. Marcus Mata, the holder as well. Snaps a little high. Mata gets it down. Kick is up. Kick is good. The Spires back on top after a 5-yard touchdown run by Marcus Mata out of the Wildcat.
Hi, this is Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. Did you know that proper insulation levels can help reduce your heating and cooling costs? You can check your attic insulation level with this very advanced high-tech tool called a ruler. Make sure you have 14 to 16 inches of insulation for maximum energy efficiency. It'll help reduce drafts and allow your heating and cooling systems to not have to work so hard. Think of it as saving money by the inches, $1, $2, $3, you get the idea. For more ways to save, visit les.com today. See you next time.
14-7, the Spires on top of the Prairie Wolves on a sunny, cloud-free day from Lincoln, Nebraska. Here on 21 Sports, Lucas Mormon along with Tom Gamelke. Did I butcher it again?
Gemelke. That's
Gemelke.
close. Hey, come on, man. We practiced this.
I know, we did.
It's all right, man.
Say all the names here to worry about, and I knew I was getting my partner in crimes here name wrong, but another methodical drive by the Spires that time, and that time they showed they can do it in a variety of ways.
Yeah, they showed a lot more balance on that drive than I thought they did their opening touchdown drive. And right now, if you're Wesleyan, that defensive staff, you're just kind of wondering, what do we have here that can work? Because right now, everything going right for that Spire offense.
Well, we saw Eiler already have a nice return on a punt. Let's see if he gets a chance on a kickoff return. He's back there deep along with Brooks Earhart. They kick the direction of Eiler. He'll take it at the 2-yard line, bring it towards the middle of the field. Cut up across the 20 at the 30. Spun around, still on his feet, out past the 35. They'll mark him down at the 39-yard line. 37-yard return for Eiler. And people just keep kicking to this kid, and I don't know why.
Yeah, you're almost better off kicking the ball out of bounds, you'd almost say, because they have not had an answer for him as we watch the replay here. Just took it right up the middle. Good job breaking the tackle there. Not a very big guy, but he's elusive and giving the Prairie Wolves some good field position here.
They took advantage last time after the punt return by Eiler. See if they can keep this defense off the field. As you mentioned during the timeout, Tom, they've been on the field a long time that last drive. See if this offense can give them a little breather. They'll hand off right over the tackle on the right side. Couple yards on the carry that time.
Yeah, Lucas, I think this is a real important drive for the Prairie Wolves. They were on the field, the defense for Nebraska Wesleyan on the field for about 11 minutes of that opening quarter. With this heat especially, you need to have some balance, need some help from your offense to keep that defense off the field.
Dustin Bryant on the carry there. We saw some good things from him last season, a 5'11", 185-pound junior from Kilgore, Nebraska. He's a little banged up coming into the game, so that's why we saw Nate Jones with the quote-unquote start. We saw some good things from Jones, but now we'll see a little bit of Bryant as well. Trips to the far side. One receiver down here on the short side. They try to throw a slant towards Tyfalt, and was it picked off? No, they'll say it hit the turf. Incomplete. As it looked like could have been a big break for Wesleyan here.
We'll watch the replay. I don't know. This was awfully close. We're going to slow it down here because I thought that he might have caught this.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. It might have, end of the football might have found a little bit of green. David Harley thought he had 6 on the tip drill as they tried to go to Dalton Tyfalt that time. And talking with some of the coaches, they're going to try and do that. They're going to try and spread them out. As you see Coach Keller up in the booth this year on the offensive side of things. Hopman has time, throws out to Delbaugh. Delbaugh, a couple yards on third down, not nearly enough for the first down. He's across the 45 to the 46-yard line, but good to see Delbaugh back out there. He was slowed by a foot injury here in fall camp. Wasn't sure how much we'd see him this afternoon.
Well, he's such a key guy. Had 6 touchdowns in 6 games last year, fought injuries last year and also the early part of this year. Such an important guy for the Prairie Wolves, and they need to get that guy back on the field.
So a 3 and out after the big return by Eiler. Brings out Kelby Vandenberg again. First punt was 49 yards. Good foot into this one. Wobbling towards the right side, angling, and bouncing out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it, right at the 20-yard line.
Punt goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Goes to 10 for the Spires.
Defense needs a 3 and out here. So they were on the field a long time to turn the tide here with 7:33 left first half. Good crowd out here today. Taking in some sun. Work on your tan here as summer winds down.
Now we're in the press box, so we're a little bit disadvantaged there. But I know what you mean talking about everybody else.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of umbrellas and some shade here is the heat of the day at Able Stadium. Now the officiating crew talking something over here at 7:37 mark. See what the referee has to say.
Put 7:45 on the game clock. 7:45.
So 8 seconds back on the clock. A little extra time ran off again. Keys and the Spires back over the offense. Looks like just 4-man pressure. They'll throw the slant play again, complete to Young. He'll pick up 6 on the play.
He's pass complete to Ronnie Cooper.
Kotzer brings him down.
Yeah, Kotzer doing a good job in the open field there again on that slant play. You got to be sure on that tackle because those can go for big gainers. And Kotzer that time, nice job showing why he's one of the top defensive players in the GPAC this year.
Ronnie Cooper, on the catch there. That big target, 6'3", 220. They move him all around. He's the receiver on the near side here, matched up against Eiler one-on-one. 3-step drop out of the gun. Throw the other way. The right side, going up and trying to haul it in, was Young. Might have been tipped right before that. Not sure. It looked like maybe Hittner got a hand on it. It was either Hittner or Fedoris. Or check that. That's Gunther over there at the corner spot.
Yeah, Hittner and Gunther had him bracketed pretty well. He had a little bit of daylight, had a little bit of a chance to haul that in, but they had him pretty well covered. A high throw to the outside, only chance to complete that. Good defense that time by Nebraska Wesleyan.
Really, that's about the only thing we've seen Keys do wrong is maybe sail a couple high in the contest, but otherwise he's hit most of his receivers. There's that slant play again. Eiler breaks it up. Good timing that time by Cody Eiler to break up that pass on 3rd down.
Yeah, perfect timing that time by Cody Eiler. That was almost a bit too early, but I think just perfect timing. I think the right call by the referee is not throwing the flag in that case.
4th and 3 here. And Keys still out on the field. Looks like the Spires are going to go for it at their own 26-yard line. Nope, quick kick by Keys. So they have no one back. That's one way to negate the Cody Eiler return, is to not even get him out there in the return situation. It's down by Gomez Colo. Ends up being a decent punt out of it.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what they were doing. They're almost of the Bill Belichick mold, going for it in 4th and 1 in your own territory. But I think a wise decision there. That's respect for Cody Eiler, trying to outsmart Wesleyan, and that time no one back to return it. And a good coaching that time by St. Mary.
When you saw the punt unit was trying to get on the field, the defense was half off the field. A little confusion down there on the sideline. Fortunately, they didn't end up with too many men on the field. Penalty would have gave them a 1st down. So, defense with the stand. Get the chance here. The final 6:46 for Hopman and company. They go with that flex bone look. Couple slots each way and 3 receivers split out. 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Hopman. Pressure comes, throws, flag comes in. That might be interference on the stud for the Spires. Their all-conference performer, Chris Bash, might have been just a tad early that time on Nate Jones.
Yeah, that's an easy call for the officials on that one.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. Penalties at the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
Take a look at it here, just a little bit early. Brash coming in. Brash, one of those throwback. Got the old collar roll on there, the big shoulder pads. Out in coverage that time. 5'11", 195-pound senior out of Las Vegas, Nevada. 1st down and 10 from the 35. Little counter action this time. Nothing doing, though. Maybe back to the initial line of scrimmage. It's Bosch again on the carry that time. Brooks Earhart from that slot position out of the motion.
Yeah, Chris Bash, we talked about. He was the one guy, first team preseason All-American in NAI. I've been very impressed with him. He's been all over the field here so far this afternoon here at Able Stadium.
Hopman in his senior campaign, hoping to shake that injury bug which plagued the Wesleyan offense last season. Here's a toss play. Room to run, but cut down quickly. In on the play that time. Looked like it was Udi and Matlock. Looked like there was going to be some room to run, maybe first down yardage, but the hole closed very quickly that time on Nate Jones.
Still a good running play that time for Wesleyan. And now you're looking at 3rd and 4. A lot of plays open in the playbook here. Pretty manageable, and we'll see if they can move the sticks here.
If you're a traditional Wesleyan fan, you've seen the offense in the past years not huddle up as much, kind of that no huddle look to the sideline look. They're more of the huddle out, grinded out team this year. Be tough to get the playoff here, and they're going to have to burn a timeout. They do. On the timeout situation, Coach
Timeout. Nebraska Wesleyan. That's their first of the half.
Coach Larson is the designated on-field timeout signaler with Coach Keller in the booth. We'll pause as well on 21 Sports.
Dr. R.E. Cycle here with a simple but important message. Recycling starts at home. That's right. It's up to you to take the first step. Setting up a home recycling system is easy, and you don't need much space. Find out how at recycle.lincoln.ne.gov. Recycling is good for our community and our planet, and you don't need to be a genius like me to get started. So do the right thing, the recycle thing.
Down on the sidelines for Nebraska Wesleyan, signaling the plays this year. Larson, Coach Don Larson, with the quarterback's coach, doing most of the signaling in. He's also taken over the special teams this year. He's the on-field, I should say, coach is going to handle timeouts. Grabbing some shade under there. Not a bad idea today. Nice toasty one here. 1st of September. Football underway. Big 3rd down here for Nebraska Wesleyan. Hopman will work out of the gun. After the timeout, let's see what Coach Keller's come up with. The snap rolls back. Looked like maybe someone was early. They're going to mark him down at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, I think some of the Prairie Wolf players out there are wondering what's going on. I think they want a penalty. I think they thought that St. Mary jumped, but I don't see any flags on the field. And I think this is going to be 4th down for Nebraska Wesleyan.
So you go from 3rd and 5 to a bizarre play there. Center snapped it. That's Caleb Armstrong. Looked like maybe St. Mary was in the neutral zone or had even contacted the player. Wesleyan players were confused. Either way, Vandenberg on to punt. Good kick, wobbling, fair catch called for at the 32-yard line for Chris Barrett. And that's where the Spires take over after what looked like maybe going to be a promising drive for the Prairie Wolves.
Yeah, and you were hoping they could get a little bit of momentum here because so far most of the momentum here this first half has belonged to St. Mary.
With the touchdown advantage under 5 minutes here for the Spires to go back to work, and that's plenty of time for them to march down the field. 125th anniversary here at Nebraska Wesleyan this year. You've seen Dr. Oles talk about it. Sporting his t-shirt today. Take a look at some of the old football and athletic moments. Keys going to go up top. Throws complete across midfield into Nebraska Wesleyan territory. Hauling that one in is Jarrell Young. Another kind of back shoulder fade almost. But a great job by Young to make an adjustment and come down with this one against pretty good coverage.
Yeah, Taylor Gunther was there step for step with that ball, maybe even a little bit underthrown, and those underthrown passes are just about impossible to defend. Gunther did about all he could, but unfortunately not enough.
Yeah, the fact that he underthrew it might have helped him there. Good job by Young, though, to recognize, come back, make the catch. A big one moves him into Nebraska Wesleyan territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Keys again, too tall that time for the intended target. And it was going to be Young back-to-back times he was targeted. As just a little too much mustard on that one from Mike Keys.
Yeah, tried to thread the needle that time. Found a little gap between the corner and the safety there, but that ball just a little bit off and not quite able to connect.
4 minutes, 13 seconds, and Wesleyan, I know, would love to get the football back here. They will get the ball to start the second half, but they need to keep the Spires out of the end zone or keep them from getting any points on the board here on this possession. One back behind Keys this time to work with. Saw something at the line, adjusting things, has plenty of time, 18 on the play clock. Wants to go up top towards Cooper. And looked like Richards on the coverage over there that time. Eric Richards, the sophomore out of Ashland, Nebraska, had Cooper covered up pretty well.
Yeah, he did have good coverage, and that time Keys going right away to that Cooper side. They know about that size mismatch just like all of us do. Wesleyan does not have a secondary member taller than 6 foot, and that time they went right, didn't go through any of his progressions, went straight to Cooper on that one. That time just a little bit overthrown. Good coverage.
Yeah, he was definitely locked in on Cooper. Saw something like changed something up at the line. Tried to get it to him down the far sideline. Trips to the near side this time. Goes that way again. Young. Did he make the catch? No, out of bounds. Great effort in front of the coverage of Richards on a comeback route, but unable to haul it in.
Yeah, this was a great effort. He made the catch, but not able to keep the feet down. Give credit to Russell Walton that time for Nebraska Wesleyan. Good pressure up the middle, and I think forced that high throw.
Brings up a big fourth down, and we've seen in the last possession that they'll get a little quick kick from Keys right out of this, but at their own 44, they'll punt it again, just a little pooch kick, and see if they can pin Nebraska Wesleyan deep. It bounces and bounds its way into the end zone for a 20-yard touchback. Punt still 20 yards on the touchback, just kickoffs back to the 25, so it'll be Nebraska Wesleyan 1st and 10 at the 20.
Well, and give credit to the coaching staff for the Spires. They're taking away that element to Cody Eiler. They know how dangerous he is. And we've seen a couple different pooch kicks. Take the ball out of his hands. Normally you don't like touchbacks, but against a good returner like Eiler, you'll take it.
They rolled the dice one time, and Eiler burned him on it. Last year, like I say, 58-34 down in Leavenworth, Nebraska Wesleyan in a high-scoring affair. Hopman had a nice game that contest, a couple touchdown tosses. The defense played well, had a couple touchdowns of their own.
Yeah, 2 pick sixes in that first quarter against Keys.
4 minutes, just under, 3:58 to work with for Wesleyan. Will they get the playoff? They just do. Little screen play over on the far sideline. Still on his feet, makes another man miss across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. It was Bryant on the carry, and Bosch tracks him down again from his linebacker spot. We've called his name a lot today.
Yeah, we watched the replay here, and good job. And just some good elusiveness in the open field, breaking the tackle, making other guys miss. And a big gain there on first down for the Prairie Wolves.
Clock continues to run, 3:33 and counting. NWU like to get some points on the board before they head into the halftime break. A little momentum. Low snap, Hopman handles it, complete. Near sideline in the flat, give him a gain of 3 on the play. Looked like, again, it was Brooks Earhart on the completion. Eli Amador in on the coverage. Under 3 minutes now. Now maybe, you've had that no huddle in the past. You see them come back to that possibly as they go their 2-minute drill. A bunch of receivers here, trips. Watch for the receiver on the far side. I believe that's Tyfalt. See if he's a one-on-one matchup right now. See if they look his way. And the flag, going to be a delay of game. And the flag's probably better than what would have happened if that play would have been live, because the snap's laying back at the 8-yard line.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. 2nd down.
Yeah, that's actually a break like there, like you said, Lucas, because I don't think Hopman was ready for that snap. Prairie Wolves right now looking a little discombobulated. Some pre-snap penalties. We've seen some errant snaps. You expect a little bit of rustiness in the first game, but it's been quite rusty here this opening half for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Well, Hopman coming off basically half a year. You have the obviously spring camp he was back for, but game action the last time, that fourth game of the season. Now 2nd and 12. Hopman with a couple backs beside him. The defense looked confused on that one, but here comes pressure. Complete. No, in and out of the hands of Tyfalt at the 45-yard line as he climbed the ladder to get it, but unable to bring it in. Tyfalt looked like he had a nice grab, but just in and out of his hands.
Yeah, I had a chance. I should have caught that one, and that time Hopman did a good job just getting rid of that. Cisco Garcia was all over him, the defensive tackle for St. Mary. Almost had the sack and forcing that errant throw right there.
Just a little tall for Tyfalt that time. Tyfalt, worth noting, was not in pads all week at practice, but ready to go, said he'd be ready for game time, so they held him out of practice this week, but he's ready to go, and he's been in here all afternoon. 3rd and long. Hopman has time on a double route. And now comes a late flag. A late flag comes in. They're trying to run a little bit of a double route that time for Taylor Stockcamp. And I might get him for some interference here.
Yeah, there was definitely some kind of contact there. I was surprised the flag didn't come out sooner, but I think we're going to have a call against that St. Mary defense.
They're going to talk it over. First, I thought maybe just feet got tangled a little bit on the double move, but looks like they're going to talk this one over. Let's see what they decide and get the whole group together here.
Yeah, the flag definitely came late. I was surprised it didn't come sooner, but they're discussing it. I don't know if you maybe discussed whether or not the ball was catchable. That might be the only thing I can think of that they're discussing right now.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell because, like I say, it looked like it was a wheel route, a double move. That he turned back in, came back on the wheel side of it, kind of drew the contact, got stumbled, so the pass was out ahead. Let's see what they decide.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. The ball is ruled uncatchable.
You said it, Tom. That was what they were probably talking about, and you nailed it on the head. The ball was uncatchable, so that brings up 4th down, and it brings Kelby Vandenberg, the All-American punter, back onto the field.
Yeah, not seeing much argument from the Nebraska Wesleyan coaching staff, so I thought it was a bad call initially to remove the flag, but no argument from Wesleyan, so the referees probably got that one right.
Standing in his own 20, low snap. Vandenberg goes and gets it, boots this one away, moves left to right, kind of a wobbler, takes a Nebraska Wesleyan bounce. It's going to roll all the way down inside the 20, so a very, very friendly bounce for Kelby Vandenberg, and it'll be down to the 18-yard line. The Spires with a minute 45 to work with here before halftime.
Well, I think with their offense, it's tailor-made for this situation. Minute 45 left with that short passing game, 2 timeouts. They have plenty of time to at least get into field goal range, if not score a touchdown. So I don't expect them to sit on this. I expect them to try to drive this down the field.
Trevor Spalding, their kicker, you mentioned it. We were getting ready to go here this afternoon, watching him kicking warm-ups. He hit from 45 yards fairly easily. So they do have a weapon back there in their kicker, Trevor Spalding, as well, the junior. Trips to the near side. Man coverage over there. Pressure comes. Walton on the attack. They're going to unload over the middle of the field, playing center field, and nearly hauling it in that time for the Spires was Harvey Williams. I thought that having a good shot at that back there was Hittner, kind of just playing center field, as you saw here, and unable to break it up. Take a look. Harvey Williams right through his arms there. Could have been a big gainer on 1st down. This time they send 2 receivers each way for Mike Keys. Straight drop, pressure comes this time. He throws out in the flat, complete down the sideline, some room to run. Finally forced out of bounds by Hittner up near the 40. On the completion that time was Alex Gomes-Colo. Just a little relief valve.
Yeah, we watched the replay. And just a short pass that he makes into a big gainer, gets out of bounds. That's probably the most important thing. Wesleyan's getting some good pressure. That time, David Jennings and also Phil Latimer getting good pressure up the middle. But good job of Keys getting rid of that ball and completing that pass for a first down.
129 to work with yet for the St. Mary Spires. 4 down linemen for Nebraska Wesleyan. Here comes some pressure. They drop it off again on a little crossing route, complete to Harvey this time. Harvey Williams hauls it in, give him 5 on the play. Kotzer on the tackle.
Yeah, seeing a little hurry-up look right now from St. Mary.
2 timeouts left for the Spires. 65 ticks left in this first frame, first half. Go over the middle on a seam route, complete. It's Gomes Colo again. That one moves the chains all the way into Nebraska Wesleyan territory, down to the 34-yard line.
Just wide open in the middle of the field. Generally in a 2-minute situation, the middle of the field will be open. Their defense is trying to protect against the sidelines.
St. Mary wants to talk things over, take a timeout. They're trying to put some points on the board, head into halftime with some momentum. They lead 14-7 here on 21 Sports.
We've only been here a month.
Having a baby is a definite lifestyle change. Grayson's the boss around here.
We moved in 2 days before he was born. Union Bank really helped us. They were so personable. They really got to know our story and care that we needed to get into the house before the baby was born.
We're starting a family and developing our lives together in a place that we can call home.
The Spires take their second time out of the half here with 57 seconds remaining in the second quarter, knocking on the door, trying to get down in field goal range. The big completion to Gomes Colo gets them at the 34 with the 1st and 10 as they lead 14-7 here on 21 Sports. Trying to put a little more distance between themselves and the Prairie Wolves before they head into the locker room.
Yeah, they're in business right now. A little over 50 seconds left in this one. Ball at the 34-yard line, 1 timeout. So plenty of time still to try to ground this one out. Almost in field goal range and still a good chance even to get a touchdown.
See if they try and dink and dunk for the 4 or 5 yard plays here. If they go up top, maybe a little more as they had in the last couple plays. There's a double move. They'll set up that screen play instead and give the defensive line some credit there. Is incomplete pass. Walton thought maybe it was a live ball just in case. He picked it up for good measure. I know you let some of that pressure in on a screen play, but Nebraska Wesleyan really got after it, and they were all over the ball, intended to target the ball carrier there as well.
NWU not fooled at all on that one. Good job staying home that time by Walton. He was not fooled, and nothing set up on that screen pass that time for St. Mary.
2-time All-GPAC performer, Russell Walton. First teamer 2 times in a row. Took just 3 seconds though, so still plenty of time on 2nd and 10 from the 34. Wants to go down the far sideline. Does, and it is incomplete. Didn't get the foot down. Jarrell Young made the catch again, but 1 foot out of bounds. He's at a couple like that today.
Yeah, and he pretty good coverage that time by Cody Eiler. Maybe he had a little bit of breathing room to try to call in that pass, but Eiler was back there in pretty good coverage, forcing that ball almost to the sideline, and it would have taken a perfect pass to drop that one in.
Definitely an extra defender, the sideline for Eiler. Using it well against Young that time. 3rd and 10. Big play for the Wesleyan defense here. If they can hold them, it'd make a pretty lengthy field goal attempt, depending on a little shovel pass in the middle. That one's incomplete. So brings up 4th and 10 at the 34-yard line. You put that down, you're looking at a 51-yard attempt. I know that Spalding had some leg. I don't know if he had quite that much leg.
Yeah, that would have been 51 yards. That would have been not quite that much leg, but.
Well, you know what? They're going to give him a shot at it. Mata's out there to hold. He's dead center away in the field. Trevor Spalding with the 51-yard field goal attempt here with 47 seconds left in the first half, and now Nebraska Wesleyan No, check that.
Yeah, St. Mary's taking it.
St. Mary wants to take a timeout, maybe talk things over. Maybe they didn't have quite the right personnel out there, and it looks like maybe that was the case. Just a quick timeout here for St. Mary's at 4th down. Wesleyan has blocked some kicks in the past. They had a lot of block kicks last year, actually.
You know, on these longer field goals, you know, the trajectory of that ball is a little bit lower, so those kicks are a little bit easier to block. So wouldn't be surprised if St. Mary maybe thinks about some things. You know, you can never rule out a fake in the situation. Could even decide to go for it, although it looks like the field goal unit's staying on the field, but we'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah, they ran Will Ryan back out there right when they called that timeout. I think he's one of the edge guys that wasn't out there, so make sure you had the right personnel in the right situation. And they're going to line up to at least attempt the 51-yarder. A little bit of a breeze at his back. Spalding. Mata gets the snap, and there's a block kick. That's Delbaugh, picks it up, returns it all the way inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Jordan Delbaugh off the right side, takes it off the foot, and returns it back to the 37-yard line.
Boy, huge momentum swing right there, Lucas. That's a huge play from the special teams at NWU. I don't think Delbaugh was touched on this one. We'll see on the replay here.
Took it right off his foot, just perfect timing, and way to scoop it up and pick up those extra yardage. And with 2 timeouts and 39 seconds to work with, you got some time here to get yourself in field goal range, maybe punch one in as well. Jordan Delbaugh. Didn't look like the foot injury was slowing him at all in that field goal block. Hopman out of the gun, has time, checks down, throws into double coverage, incomplete. Intended target that time was Bryant, or Brooks Earhart, check that. He had Nate Jones over in the flat. Tried to squeeze it in a couple defenders, though.
I think it'll be the Prairie Wolves here. I think the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you get yourself your field goal. Get in field goal range first, and then maybe take a couple shots at the end zone. But right now at the ball at the 38-yard line, probably still at least 8 to 10 yards out of field goal range.
Especially with the unprovenness at that kicking position. You know, they have one guy kicking off, another one doing the place kicking. As Hopman feels the pressure here, unloads over the middle, and incomplete. Nearest man that time was Brian Pieper, the senior from North Platte. So now 3rd and 10, as you said. Now you got to think about just getting in field goal range here. Probably need to be at least down to the 28-yard line around there to have a shot.
Yeah, not sure about that decision to go deep there. Could have checked that one down. He had a receiver open in the middle of the field right around the 30-yard line. That would have gotten them in field goal range. Instead, they decided to go deep. You don't like to second guess in that situation, but they did have a guy open a little bit shorter and a little bit more higher percentage play.
An even 30 left on the board. 30 ticks. Hopman throws. That one nearly picked off. Harvey almost had a chance. Delbaugh was running a little bit of a wheel route. And instead, it looked like Hopman and him were on the same page, got crossed up. He was just going to wing it to him out in the flat.
Well, and that's a huge break, because if he catches that, if Harvey catches that ball is going back the other way for 6. Nebraska Wesleyan lucky that ball was incomplete.
I misspoke there. Marvin Runnels in the coverage. 47, the junior out of Cedar Hill, Texas. Brings up 4th down now. And with 26 seconds left, you got to think they just try and take a shot here. You're in that no man's land where a punt doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Hopman with a couple slot receivers. There's Delbaugh in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Drop it off instead to Nate Jones. A little bit of a screen inside the 30. Let's see where they mark him. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, he just about got it, but like I said, I think just 1 yard exactly short.
No timeouts left for St. Mary's. 20 seconds to work with. See what they do. See if they're happy to go in the locker room with the 14-7 lead, or if they try and take a few shots here.
Yeah, you would have liked to seen the Prairie Wolves try to take advantage of that block field by Jordan Delbaugh. That was a big momentum swing. Unfortunately, the offense not able to turn that into points. And now you're just hoping to get back in the locker room and try to make some adjustments.
Looks like they're just going to be content to take a knee here and go into the locker room. Keys does just that, and that should do it. That'll run out the clock on the first half of action. St. Mary's behind the varied offensive attack in the arm of Mike Keys, up 14-7 on the Prairie Wolves as we head to break.